Hi there, it's time to show you how I would make better thumbnails again. So today we identified this thumbnail. Basically there's a question posted asking will we click on this thumbnail. It looks pretty alright and interesting with all those funny eyes. I would say mostly the stuff are quite good, just that there are some duplications. We have question marks as well as the red arrow. To me, I would have simplified that with just one indicative element over there. Obviously, the whole thumbnail is just mainly using warm colors, and we talk about complementary colors, so we'll address that as well. And there are quite a bit of text, and we can simplify that. And we see vignettes across the four corners. Not a bad idea, but we can do it in another way. So let's quickly look at what can be done. So as usual, I'll pull in the original. By the way, this video is from the Top Cat channel, so I'll reach out to you afterwards and let you know where the completed thumbnail is. So this is the original thumbnail, and obviously we need to extract the elements and also try to make the background a little bit more interesting. So how to do that, right? If we look at, I've basically got an image that looks like what's it's like the original, but then the background is a bit plain as well, even though it's got some beige paper like patterns at the back. Let's try a way whether we can make it look more interesting. Yeah. Obviously, we want to remove the background. This is just a photo app in Windows. So we can first get the guy on the left-hand side, and then remember what I said, right? Always remember, if we go to do the background removal, always remember to click the remove button after you have done all the cleanup you need to do. And there's a bit here we want to clean up as well. So the background will eventually reveal over there. So if we want to add back, we just need to remove the mask. Okay, that looks alright to me, and we remember to click remove. So that's good enough. Whatever in the flask, we can still keep it, just to ensure consistency. So we save as a PNG, Top Cat thumbnail, left character left. Save it. Now we've got the character. Then obviously we need the guy on the right hand side as well. Quickly do a crop, and then go to the background, remove, add a more mask just to clean up what we don't need. And that should not be required as well. It looks like there's something at the background, but I think we can live without that. Just to make the thumbnail a little bit cleaner, remember to click the remove button. We may have to adjust the saturation when we get to Canva. So let's save. That's the character on the right hand side. Right. And then now we can bring the guys in, but before that, remember I said we can probably try another background. So I've got one. Okay, this one can't be uploaded. Maybe it's because of the image type. So let me try to save it as something else. It's basically a beige paper texture. Let's try to save it as a PNG and try to bring it back in. Yeah, now it works. So we see it's got some natural vignetting. It's brighter at the center, darker around the edges and corner. So that's the other way compared to the way that the original thumbnail is like. And then we're bringing in the two scientists. Or alchemist in the old days. So you see, this guy was sitting very far to the right hand side, and this guy not too bad because he's holding something that should be in this under the spotlight, right? And the thing we have here, I think I've got one here. I just want to pull these lines, the rule of thirds, indicating to you. So this guy basically is not sitting around any of these crosses. I mean the right hand side. The left hand side, he's close enough. So what he's looking at is near where the rule of thirds is. So we can move these two guys. If we want to make this larger, just to make it more prominent, so we don't really need that much of the the halo thing. So at least this flask is sitting on the line itself, and for the guy on the right hand side, we can enlarge him as well, just to make him closer and a bit higher. I want his eyes to at least get close enough to what's here, and we probably need to enlarge him a bit. Yeah, we can. That's good enough. We can now bring the lines to the background, so it's not obstructing whatever you have. So see, we've got these guys more prominent compared to what over there, and we've got natural separation because the background is having its natural brighter spot near the flasks. So how do we change or adjust the flask? I've got one that's in blue. So remember the complementary color we talked about, and let's just scale it up so it kind of matches the hand. We can lower this so the cork over there isn't going to be affected too much. Well, ideally, if you have one that matches exactly the same, that would be perfect. But for now, it can look like this, and you can blend that. Or if you want to make it more dramatic, like a real thing in a historical picture, that's also fine. That's also looks kind of interesting. And because it has to be, it is the focus basically. We want to try to see whether we can make it pop out even more. Again, my glasses are filtering Blu-ray, so I just want to take it, lower them a bit. So this is something that should be in focus, and these two guys, they are blurry enough, so I don't want to do something extra. That's not required. So the thing is, I'm trying to match how thick this is, but if I enlarge this thick, and we have to readjust the image in a software like GIMP or Photoshop, depending on which one you have, because here Canva isn't allowing us to do it that way. And yeah, let's say we do it like this, and what we can do next, you see the hands are being blocked, right? So we want to get back the hands of that guy. So he's the left hand side guy. Want to edit it, just crop out what we don't need, and we just need the parts that are going to basically the first two fingers for the right hand, and then on the top is mainly the thumb. I'll just add this part of the hand also. So again, background, remove. You can maximize the brush, just clean up the flask, because this is going to go on top of the blue flask, or the flask with blue liquid we have. I understand that Top Cat is trying to use a liquid color that's the actual thing itself, because the liquid being used is of that color. But for the thumbnail's sake, and because you're talking about mouthwash, today's people can relate mouthwash easily with blue color, or even green, or purple, orange, and then this over here, we just need to keep the finger. Don't need that. Okay, the fingers over here, we don't really need those, but it doesn't affect us even if they're there or not, because the background image is exactly the same. Yeah, let's just clean them just to make it more complete. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay. Remember to click remove. Now we've got only the hands left. Save as copy, PNG, character left, and then hands. Okay, now we can bring the hands back in and move them right at where they are and scale them to align the size. Now we can zoom in and adjust the size. So when we zoom out, their hands are now holding the flask. Just that this part over here seems to be getting outside of the hand, so maybe we want to rotate the flask so it doesn't come out so weird, as if it's cutting the finger. Yeah, like that. So see the complementary colors, the orange or orangish red and the blue flask in the middle. If you want to, you can even enlarge this further, and also the text on here is getting pretty close to the times, the duration of the video if you check on YouTube. So I would rather move the text to somewhere else. So I will select everything and then, yeah, just these four, not the background. Enlarge them, pack them back. Because all those details at the bottom doesn't really matter. Okay, now it's very prominent. And finally, well, maybe not finally, but at least we put in the text first. So, mouth wash. I say, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 1,000 years ago. And just change it to white for the time being. We can use a bit of lift, and this is definitely not the text I want to use. So let's put it to the right hand side and pick a text that is potentially more engaging. So you can left align this. The 1000, I think we can make that bigger. Okay, so that's the tricky part, and let's not do it that way. Just quickly check, that's 80. Okay, so what I would do for like easier manipulation, I'll duplicate that and make them like 3 different text boxes. So I'll duplicate another one. This one we just have 1,000, because sometimes numbers, depending on the font type you're using, it's gonna get tricky if you want to make them a little bit different, because I want to make it more visible. So this guy, it looks too busy on the left hand side. I want to swap them. So this guy goes to the right because he is not holding anything. And the guy over here, let's group them. Move them across. You can't flip them that way. Control Shift G will ungroup them. Now you can flip their hands, move them over here, and then also flipping this guy, or you can actually not flip, rotate. So like I said earlier, make sure it doesn't look like it's cutting through the hand. Yeah, still under the hand, so that looks alright. So you may want to move this group them and move them back to the right hand side, so we see the brighter area at the back of this flask instead of having everything clumped together. Okay, and then when we zoom out real small, like 10%, when we look at these two thumbnails, you can tell the difference, right? The yellow text wasn't really visible originally, and now we've got this white text. If you want to, you can even use other effects like outline instead of lift, and say use something like this to make it stand out even more. So mouthwash 1,000 years ago, because the background is pretty bright, so that's why if the lift isn't strong enough, it's not easy for people to see what text is there. So maybe rather than lift, it's better to use outline. You can choose a color that matches your theme. It doesn't have to be black. It can be dark brown, like matching whatever that's there. So, or dark red, depending on whether you adjust it to orange or like closer to red. So we've got this color. See, now it stands out more compared to the background. So let me enlarge it and let you look at it again. Originally it's this one. Let me hide the lines. And then now after the remake, we've got this one. Hope you're happy with the result, and this is a very quick way how to make your thumbnail looks more clickable, and wish you having better click-through rates. And let me know in the comments if you want me to look at one of your videos, thumbnails, and see how I'm going to improve them.